Ma'am, maraming salamat sa inyong kontribusyon na ibinibigay dito sa ekonomiya ng bansa. Ang inyong pagiging matiisin din na mamamayan na piniling lumayo sa bansa para sa isang mas maunlad na buhay. Mabuhay po kayo. At maraming salamat po sa inyong kontribusyon. Si Miss Vanessa po ay, paano po natin tatawagin, ma'am? Kayo po ba ay founder ng DDS Vancouver?
One of the organizers of DDS Vancouver. So it's really few of us, Irene, me, and Jeanette, because we just wanted to meet. We wanted to meet to discuss few things about what's going on in Philippines. It's really our love and of Duterte's governance, Duterte's leadership. That's why we were thinking of why don't we gather and meet once in a while and talk about things. And for me to, my passion for fighting for Duterte really started when he was sent to ICC. And I just wanted to meet with like-minded people who have the same passion of Duterte. I just want to exchange ideas. I just wanted to exchange thoughts of what's going on, and that's how it came about this DDS Vancouver. And there's quite few members. We have this group chat that joined in this in the DDS Vancouver. So it really grow into more people. Although when we go in meet up, sometimes not a lot of people join because they are busy. When you are here, there's so many things there. You get busy with life, right? So it's usually just us. So yeah, that's how DDS Vancouver. We thought of names, and then I think we just come up with DDS Vancouver because we all are Duterte supporters. So yeah.
Yeah, tama yung pagkakaintindi namin. No? Nag-start lang yung grupo nyo after ipakidnap si PRRD 2 years ago, sometime 2 years ago.
Well, okay. So there's the backstory there. I joined one group, and this is something that we shouldn't be discussing. I joined one group like the Maiso group, and there's few of us. And when things didn't quite align, and we will not expand on that. So we just decided to create our own group to, we have the same objective and intention. So that's how it started.
Ma'am, sa eksenang yan, yan naman ho talaga kung bakit mademokrasya nating ginagawa ang ating ginagawa.
Yeah.
Kung hindi, kami, we also encourage that, ma'am, even as mga vloggers, if they don't align with us, but we're fighting for the same cause, pero mas nakaka-relate po sila maaaring sa isang mas matapang, maaaring sa isang mas mahinahon, maaaring sa isang mas seryosong setup, yung mga ganun po. We encourage people na hanapin din kung saan sila lilinya at doon po tumutok. Kasi kung yung linya po na yun, yung mas makakapag, it brings out the best in your points, in your yung life directions, no, yung political alignment. At least mas mapayapa tayong hindi natin pinipilit na ilaban yung sarili mo sa hindi mo kalinyado, di ba? Ganun naman po ang atin. Ma'am, why the support for the Dutertes?
Well, for me, I can speak for myself, and I think we all share the same sentiment with the Dutertes. I've been here in Canada for almost 3 decades now, and all along I didn't really think about politics in the Philippines because I thought that it's all the same thing. Different leaders, it's all the same thing. There's corruptions. There's really not a lot of improvement until Duterte came. And of course, I grew up in Mindanao, and I got excited when Duterte was voted in 2016. And he really showed that he cared for the country. He really strived to look after the welfare of the Filipino people. And having lived here in Canada, I could see all the benefits, the good things that the first world nation is like, and that's where the trajectory of Duterte. And I really like that. I got really excited about where Duterte was planning to take the Philippines to. And like, for example, education, the tertiary education of Duterte was very good because here in Canada, I also benefited that student loan. I think that is really something that I am very thankful of, that I was able to enjoy it. And of course, having the free medical care here, where everything is free, you don't have to worry about paying anything. And when Duterte was working on the universal health, that really excited me that, maybe there is a hope for the Philippines. For the longest time, I never thought that Philippines would improve. But when Duterte came, it ignited my passion, it ignited my patriotism, and he gave me hope that, yeah, it's possible that maybe one day I can go back to Philippines and maybe retire there and enjoy the beauty, because that's where I grew up. That is very, close to my heart. That's the culture that I feel that I belong to. So that and then I was cheering for Duterte. I was just so impressed of what he did, especially when he was giving this 100 million every month to VGA, to what do you call that hospital there?
PGH.
PGH, yes, PGH. So that is something that I could see that, yeah, Philippines is beautiful. Because for one, Philippines is beautiful. You have beautiful beaches, you have beautiful weather and all that. It just need a better governance. And that's... Go ahead.
Sorry ma'am, binabago po ba ng tingin ninyo na maganda ang Pilipinas na si Marcos ang nakaupo?
No, of course not. It's really terrible. It's very embarrassing. I'm really embarrassed that this is the kind of president that we have. Someone who engaged in illegal drugs. That is not something to be proud of. And look at what is going on with the flood control, all the corruptions going on. It's just deplorable to think about, to really think. I cannot fathom how this government has wrecked so much of the good things that Duterte has built, has improved. Like when Marcos stopped that railway in Mindanao, me coming from growing up in Mindanao, I was so excited about that railway system in Mindanao, and he stopped it. I was so devastated that Marcos did that. And considering all this, all the persecutions, how the government is silencing all the critics in Philippines, that is just not acceptable. And especially for people who have seen what democracy is. Like here in Canada, our freedom of expression and speech is really respected, and that is the kind of governance, or the kind of government that listens to the people, listens to their employer, because we, or the taxpayers, are the employers of these government officials. And it's just so sad to see how these government officials are treated like God in Philippines. Comparing here, our government officials are just like you and I. They eat at the same restaurants, they ride their bikes, because there's no special treatment here. And that's how it should be, because they are the servant of the people.
Tama po.
Ma'am Vanessa, ramdam namin yung passion nyo at yung pagmamahal nyo sa bayan, no? Anong naramdaman nyo naman nung nagsalita ang Yusek Claire Castro na ipapa-deport daw kayo?
Of course, I just laugh at it. Like, it's just a sheer ignorance. We are here in Canada. And I think Attorney Regal Oliva really explained it very well. It's all about jurisdiction. The incident happened here in Canada. It's the law here in Canada that should be respected. And law here is indeed respect human rights, human freedom of expression, freedom of speech. And before this rally, I did email the city of Vancouver to really ask, just to make sure that everything is okay, if there are any permits or anything. I just want to cover the bases, right? Because I started this rally. I don't want for us to be in trouble. So I emailed the city of Vancouver, what are the rules and laws and all that, even though I know that it's free, or you don't have to get permits here, but I just want to make sure. And the city of Vancouver told me that, yeah, you can rally, you can protest anytime you want. That is covered under your freedom of expression and speech. And the person just suggested to me to reach out to the department, to the Vancouver police in their protest department. They have a very specific department for protest in Vancouver police. And I did email them and ask them, what are the laws that we should be aware of, that because we didn't want to violate any laws here. And the city police said, no, you can do whatever you want. You can say, and I told them that we are going to use megaphone. She said, yeah, you can use your megaphone, but maybe the police might stop you from using it if the noise is quite loud. And, but by all means, you can use that. Say what you want. So, yeah, I was really confident that there is really nothing. We don't violate, and we are just exercising our freedom of speech.
Tama ba sabihin na tanga, ignorante at bobo ang isang Yusek Claire Castro?
I believe we all have evidence of that.
Hindi lang ebidensya, Your Honor. Experience din, di ba, Madam Chair?
Exactly. Yeah.
Pero, ma'am, meron po ba tayong mga kababayan na nandyan na dito sa propaganda nila ng pananakot na sila daw ay i-deport, talagang naniniwala at may takot ka ba sa dibdib nila na baka nga mangyari? Meron bang mga ganon?
I think so. I think there is even one. I saw a video of this one guy, I think professor or something in Victoria. Victoria is just a ferry away from here, saying that we will be deported. But you know, it's not just the law being scaring us for being deported, whatnot. It's about, you know, morality. It's being they are saying that the Filipinos are not like that. You know, they are harping on it. They are harping on the moral values of Filipinos. Filipinos don't treat others like that. And here what it is. What is really Filipino? When you are angry, when you are mad, that's the Filipino in you. You want to express. You cannot be mad. You cannot be angry and just say pleasantries to someone that you wanted to, you know, to express your thoughts on, right? So, yeah, so sometimes it's not very realistic what they are doing. And then, of course, there are those trolls that are scaring us that we might be deported. But again, most of us, if in that rally, have been here for quite some time. And that is just not possible to deport us.
Pero pwede ba talaga ipa-deport? Kung, of course, ikaw, Canadian citizen ka na, no? I assume. Yung iba na PR card lang or yung iba
OFW.
OFW, pwede, may kakayahan magpa-deport ang Philippine government sa isang mga kababayan natin na nakabase dyan?
I don't think so, because the incident happened here. It still has to go through the Canadian law. What law is it? So what would take precedent to the law that will be applied is the Canadian law, which is really well respected here.
Actually,
kaya kami dito, Miss Vanessa, sa third floor, ang tingin namin, para ma-warningan lang o matakot o ma-intimidate yung ibang kababayan natin na nasa ibang bansa para hindi na kayo gayahin. Ano po mensahe nyo sa mga kababayan natin sa abroad, maliban lang ho dyan sa Canada, yung mga nasa ibang bansa pa po?
Yeah, they shouldn't believe that. And as a matter of fact, they have to speak up more. And I think it's not just to all OFW abroad, to all the Filipinos. I think it's about time for all of us to really speak up, because it's not enough are those times where we are as silent supporters. I think it's about time. This is a time where we can be loud and proud of being Filipino and express our sentiments, our anger to this government, because all of us, when we all come out together, we are stronger.
Ano naman ang mensahe niyo po kay Claire Castro at sa kay Bongbong Marcos?
Well, to Claire Castro, you know, I don't know how she can sleep at night. It really disgusts me how she could lie straight face to the Filipino people, and how she covers what the BBM administration is doing. So yeah, I'm just, you know, one day, and this, maybe if Claire Castro is listening, maybe think about, what if BBM is not a president anymore? What will happen to you? This is something to ponder upon, because if Filipinos confronted you this way when you are in power, what about when you are not in power anymore? Think about that, you know, and you are in Philippines. Filipinos are everywhere. So can you imagine the kind of life that you will be? So yeah, for Bongbong Marcos, what can I say?
Ma'am, ba't niyo po kasi tinawag na pangit? Kaya nagalit eh.
Well, with that being pangit, you know, I must admit, I didn't have any empirical evidence that Claire Castro is pangit. In the same token, I didn't have any evidence that she is beautiful. So we will leave it at that.
Okay.
Pero po, yung salitang, Miss Vanessa, yung salitang pangit, hindi lang naman to sa physical na anyo. Pwede rin sa pag-ugali.
Yes, exactly, and that's really what it meant. Because to give her credit, she has really beautiful skin. That's for sure. I gave her that. She has very flawless skin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pero ma'am, naiintindihan natin yung naiintindihan natin ma'am yung yung pagiging matipid natin na magbigay ng papuri. kung mas dominante kasi yung galit ng maraming tao kaysa yung makita mo yung maganda dun sa taong yon. At lalong-lalo na, kayo po ba'y naniniwala? Sinabi niyo ho kasi kanina na yung mas maraming kasinungalingan. Ano po ba ang katotohanan? Ano po para sa mga Filipinos in Canada, in Vancouver, ang katotohanan?
Well, like for example, that 18 Marines, what's going on there? Why not talk about the 18 Marines? That is already clear there. Like that, why not investigate that? Why go around all this bush, like, trying to evade this 18 Marine? That alone, is something that she should, talk to, or the government should be investigating on, not on persecuting Marcoleta, because Marcoleta just did a wonderful job investigating, something like that. You can really see the unfair treatment of, those critics and those that are, in cahoots with them. You know what I mean?
Kayo po ba ay naniniwala sa mga salita ni Bongbong Marcos na wala siyang kinalaman sa flood control corruption, bagkus siya po talaga ang nag-expose nito?
Because, we are not stupid, right? Like, we are not born yesterday. At the end of the day, he even said that he read that GAA, 4,000 pages of GAA. He read it page by page, and you didn't see it? And why did you sign it? At the end of the day, the buck stops with him. He has to be blamed. All this won't happen without him tolerating it all. So, yeah, he is the number one to blame in all this. He is the mastermind of flood control. Definitely.
Ms. Vanessa, ano ang pulso ng mga kababayan natin dyan sa Canada tungkol naman dito sa nangyayaring impeachment trial laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte?
When we were there in Raleigh, I could feel the anger of my fellow Filipinos here who were in that rally. I was late. I was actually late when it was supposed to be at 10 a.m. When I arrived, we were supposed to have a program. I was really thankful of Eat Abroad for guiding me on what to do, because that would be the first rally that I organized. So I didn't really quite know what to do. But as soon as I arrived and they saw I was carrying megaphones, those Filipino ladies just took the megaphone and just screaming out loud, expressing, their anger from their emotion. You could really feel the anger in their hearts. And you can see that how frustrated, how much they are so unhappy of what is going on in the Philippines. So yes, with this impeachment of Inday Sara Duterte, why everybody knows that are aware of it, that why are we wasting money and resources in impeaching a sitting vice president who was voted by over 32 million people? Why waste resources in that when there is flood control? The cost of all this impeachment show is more costly than what was, the 125 million confidential funds of Inday Sara. So it just doesn't make sense at all. Like a normal thinking Filipino or person would think like, what? It doesn't make sense. And what is the role of the vice president? It is just to sit and wait until the president is incapacitated. Why take so much time impeaching her when she is not a president, right? It's just quite obvious. It's crazy.
Ano po ang mensahe ninyo sa Marcos administration, ma'am? Ninyo ng mga Pilipino dyan abroad or dyan sa specifically Canada? Ano po ang mensahe ninyong gustong maiparating sa Marcos administration?
Well, Marcos administration, especially to Bongbong, just like what Bastayon said, Filipinos, you can never be loved by Filipinos after all this. And there's a day of reckoning, just like what PRD said. There is a day of reckoning. Mm-hmm.
Mensahe po kay Yusek Claire Castro.
Claire Castro, well, I don't really have much message to her. Just keep going, because she is really, she helps in the rating of president, declining president. So keep going.
Ma'am, last two question. Mensahe niyo po sa ating butihing Vice Presidente Sara Duterte.
Inday Sara, Filipinos are behind you. Just be strong and please don't give up on us. Filipinos is still worth fighting for.
Oh, ma'am, ano po ang dasal ninyo para sa bansang Pilipinas?
Well, God save the Philippines. And to all the Filipinos, we should keep on fighting. We should keep on speaking up. And let's not lose hope because we still have the Dutertes there. Let's just fight for them. Let's support them.
Kababayans po natin abroad, ano po ang inyong mensahe, ma'am, bago po tayo magtapos?
Kababayans abroad, we need to ignite, we need to continue caring for our Philippines. It's about time. Here in abroad, we can exercise our freedom of expression and speech because we are not being persecuted. We are not being silenced by the government. And the government, wherever we are, really exercise and respect our freedom. I think it's about time for us to really speak up because a lot of critics in Philippines are being silenced right now. So I think OFW people abroad should step up and let the whole world know of how evil this government of Bongbong Marcos is doing in the Philippines.
Ma'am, kailan po kayo huling nakauwi at nakabalik ng Mindanao?
That was 2023, I believe. Yeah.
Recent lang din pala. So inabot po kayo ng pandemic dito or tapos na pandemic nun?
Tapos na ang pandemic.
Tapos na, no, kaya po kayo nakauwi. Oo.
Mhm.
What do you miss back home po?
The people. I really miss the people. When I was growing up in Mindanao, there are fiestas, and I was teaching in college, one of the colleges there, and I would receive these fiesta invitations, and people would invite you to their homes and feed you and give you food, and that was just amazing. That is something that the sense of community, that you belong, that you are there, that you are being welcomed, that you are part of their home. That is really something really beautiful. So yeah, I really miss that. And yeah, not to mention the beautiful sceneries and the beaches in the Philippines is amazing. And on top of that, the food as well.
At namimiss din po kayo ng ating butihing Attorney Vic Rodriguez na nagpadala na mensahe na ikumusta ako sa kanya at sa kanilang grupo.
Yes, thankful. Thank you so much, Pam, for helping us have dinner with Attorney Vic Rodriguez. It was very fruitful. It was really nice. And then he suggested to us to write a letter to the Prime Minister of Canada. And we are actually we wrote a letter. Irene, my co-organizer, wrote a letter. We signed it all, and we are sending it to the Prime Minister of Canada, and it just exposing this government. And that was a very good suggestion of Attorney Vic. Thank you.
Kami ang dapat magpasalamat sa inyo at sa mga kasamahan nyo dahil sa ipinakita nyong tapang at pagmamahal sa mga kababayan natin Pilipino.
Well, thank you. No, it's not just me. There's a lot. There's a lot that I am not the kind of person that really confront. I'm not confrontational. I wasn't one of the people that really scream at Claire Castro. It was my other colleagues who were very passionate and were holding the megaphone. It was them, their passion. Because that's not the kind of person I am. I'm not really a fighter. But there are amazing, brave women here that speak up and didn't really care about what could have been the repercussion about it. So yeah, kudos to them, to all the Filipinos who attended in the rallies. More power to you. And we should keep doing that. And I really encourage everyone to keep. We should meet together and keep on talking. Just keep on talking and planning on what we can do about little things that we can do to our country.
Ang aming pasasalamat sa inyong grupo, ma'am, at lalong-lalo na sa iyo na talaga naman ang katatagan consistent para sa ang ganda na ng buhay niyo diyan, pero yung pakikipaglaban ninyo at hindi ninyo paglimot sa inyong sariling bansa na Pilipinas talaga namang ipinaglalaban natin. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay ka, Miss Vanessa.
Pagpatuloy
lang po,
Miss Vanessa.